Hi, everybody. Um, Today, I'd like to talk about living holy. And I'm going to share a few things when it comes to living holy. Some of the things that were taught by me growing up in church, and some that I learned um, as my relationship grew, or as I grew in my relationship with the Lord. Living holy. Growing up in church, I was taught that living holy was uh, to not wear pants and not wear earrings and don't wear makeup and don't cut your hair. Leave your hair long, let it grow, and because a woman's hair is her glory, and that you should, being a woman, you should wear long skirts and not wear tight-fitting clothes because I think mainly more so for one because of the men that were in the church. Um, Maybe some of them you didn't want to cause them to, I guess, lust after you, meaning to stumble. And so you'd use wisdom and you'd wear a long skirt and you'd cover yourself and not wear makeup because, and I'm not sure why they said, honestly, I'm not sure why they said don't wear makeup because I didn't see in the Bible uh, where it said don't wear makeup, but that's what they taught us, not to wear makeup. And they taught us not to wear earrings. And I guess that was because they said that a woman's beauty shouldn't be her outward adorning, but it should be the inner beauty basically that of a woman of God or holy, that being holy or becoming of holiness. Well, as I grew in my relationship with the Lord, holiness, that was fine, what they taught, but that just wasn't all holiness is. You know, um, Holiness is more than your outward adornment um, because I think holiness is about your relationship with God and what that relationship means to you personally. For me, holiness is more than just me not putting on makeup or cutting my hair or not cutting my hair or wearing a long skirt or not wearing a long skirt. Holiness is something that as your relationship develops with the Lord and as you grow in your relationship, it is just more than that. I could put on a long skirt and I could take off my makeup and take off my jewelry and not wear jewelry and cut my hair or let my hair grow and still not necessarily be living holy. I think holiness too is about not sinning against your body. He says, present your body as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable, which is your reasonable service. Meaning, you're not going to be out there just having sex. Holiness is more about your relationship with God. When you get to a place where you learn what holiness is, then you don't, and then you don't, you're no longer going to just go out and have sex with somebody. You learn that, your body is you're presenting your body holy and acceptable, meaning you're not going to your body is precious, it's sacred, it's something that you're waiting to have sex because you're waiting for your husband, and you know that your body is to be saved, and you're not supposed to do that until you get married, and you get to a place in your life where you're waiting in your relationship with God, where you're waiting and you're not willing to have any man just touch you or do anything to you because you realize the sacredness of marriage and just the sacredness of your relationship with God and living holy and wanting to wait for your wedding day. And even in maybe have had some relationships, you realize just the sacredness of marriage is something that's always there, and you're waiting to share some of your experiences specifically with the man that God has for you, and waiting to enjoy those experiences with this one man that you're believing God for, or believing that is going to be your husband. So holiness it does change because if you just teach that just wear a long skirt and just let your hair grow and just take off your makeup and take off your earrings, that is teaching them a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof per se, because you're just teaching them what it looks like outwardly. This is what you should look like. And by doing that, if you just do that, then what you're teaching them is that they can be in sin and have sex and fornicate and do all of this. But as long as when they come to church or as long as when they walk around they keep on a long skirt and keep their hair long and keep on their makeup and or I mean take off their makeup and take off their earrings, then it's okay. And that's not necessarily what that's not what you want to teach. You don't want to leave them with that. You want them to get the full understanding of what holiness is. So holiness is a lot more than that, because at the same thing, you could really teach them just the outward part of it, and they could put on a long skirt and do all of that and still go out and have sex and be fornicating. So that's not teaching holiness per se. That's not all of what holiness is. Because I could also, once you get to a certain level in your relationship with God, or certain understanding of what holiness is, then I can put on a pair of pants, wear my makeup, let my hair grow, cut it short, put on earrings, jewelry, or take off my jewelry, and still be living holy and consecrated and sanctified, and and really know what it means to live holy. So yes, people look at, and the Bible says that man looks on the outer, but God is looking at your heart. And holiness is about your relationship with Him, and who He is as far as in your relationship, and honoring Him in the way that you live your life. And so I wanted to share a little bit about what holiness is to me. And it's not the same for everybody, but I think as you grow in your relationship, and as you get a little bit more understanding of what holiness is, it just, your relationship grows and you learn, and what holiness means to you changes. So that's just a little bit of what I wanted to share. And I hope and I pray that you get the opportunity to not only listen or look at this video, but to listen, hear what it is that is being taught, and that it gives you a little bit more insight. It gives you a little bit more insight or understanding on what holiness really is. God bless.